Hi, it's Jenny, and today's Real Funny Friends. Akaash is going to be at Comedy Works South, right?
Yes, Comedy Works South. Yes.
In Landmark. I love that one. That's one of my favorite ones.
It's fantastic.
So we were kind of talking a little bit before. I'm not huge into podcasts yet. Like, I'm trying to, start that. And one of our guys here was like, you just got to watch it first. I was like, okay. So funny. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
And just
Thank you.
honest and real. And I love that. And I feel like I was telling you, I like to listen more to that in the car than music sometimes.
Yes.
And you had the best observation about it.
I completely understand why old people listen to AM radio. It just does it. Because I'm almost 40 now. Mm-hmm. Hip hop is what I grew up listening to. Those kids don't need me to. They don't want me to listen. Mm-hmm. So when I'm like, it doesn't suck. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
But then the guys I like, you're not gonna rap when you're 60. Why am I doing that?
I don't know. Dr. Dre worked on a new album. So.
Was it 10 years ago?
No, he's doing it now. Him and Eminem in the studio right now.
No one cares, dude.
I do, kind of.
You're gonna listen and you're gonna be like, this isn't the same.
Yeah, like what are you rapping about this time? Like before, it was something that you kind of could relate to. Now it's like, I got new Desitin. Like,
dude,
I'm good.
You are the culture when you're 15, 20, 25. Mm-hmm. You are but then you just age out of being the culture. If you're our parents, you love Elvis or whatever. My parents liked Indian music, but if you liked Elvis here, he died 30 years ago. There's no new Elvis coming out.
No.
I'm going to keep listening to the same Elvis songs over and over. That's going to get old. So the only thing that's new is radio, talk radio, or podcasts or whatever. Just people talking about something different every day.
Yep.
The news.
And it's fun because I feel, it's kind of like if you're at a coffee shop and you're overhearing two people have a conversation, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of that analogy where it's, okay, well, I kind of want to overhear that conversation. I want to see what they're going to do. And
well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good because I love that sometimes when you have the podcasts, it's like the opinions that I have that I'm too scared to actually vocalize. Yeah. You guys are like, throw it out there.
That's the goal.
Exactly
No,
it.
I try not to. Sometimes I still hold it in because you get just lambasted online or whatever, but just say it. Just say the thing. Those aren't even real people.
And half the time, we all are thinking it. And I hate to say that because there are some things that we're not all thinking, but there's a lot of times where we're like, well, I think we know how to do this, but we're so scared to say something that's, very genuine and maybe a little controversial, but especially working in music radio, that's not something I can do.
Yeah, they don't let you have any.
But you have a platform to do it. And how did that come about?
So Andrew has been in podcasting for like 10 years. He had another big podcast called Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne, who's like one of the best talkers in the history of America. So they were doing a podcast for like 5 years, and then Andrew was like, I kind of want to start a second one. This is going well. And he and I have been friends for 15, 16, 17, however long now. And then when he approached me about the idea, I was like, that's great. I had some little MTV shows, but nothing big. Yeah. And when he approached me about the idea, I thought this could be great. And we were talking about sports early on. We brought on a third guy, Kaz. Then we kind of stopped talking about sports, and then we parted ways. Everything's good now. It was a little bumpy, but everything's good now. But then Andrew and I just kind of focused more on comedy and then just talking about whatever. And the idea was, if we're trying to be funny, it's okay. That's the ethos of the podcast. Yeah. The sensitivity and stuff, we get it, but if we're trying to be funny, it's okay.
And it has to be. At some point, comedy's got to come back to itself where you can say those jokes and do those jokes. And I feel like for the majority of us, we get that. And we actually truly appreciate it when you push that envelope a little bit every time I go.
I think it's come back toward that a lot. I think that 2015, 2016, 2017, whatever, it was like the cancel culture thing felt so real to us. Yeah. And then I think we all were like, oh, everybody who they canceled is doing okay for the most part.
I was going to say, yeah.
So
if anything, that was more publicity at that time.
Yeah, It was just people need stories to put out there, so they put stories out there, and they amplify the few crazy people on Twitter who are offended, and then that blew up. And then I think most of us are like, oh, well, we can kind of say what we want to say. And honestly, I think it might have made me a better comic because I consider the other side a little bit more now.
And you had to be a little bit smarter about how you write it and
and more honest. Honestly, like the extreme thing to say is the easiest to write. Yep. And then how do I honestly feel is usually probably not even going to piss off those people that much. It will some of them, but for the most part, people will be like, all right, fair enough.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say. I still get hate mail. I'm like, really?
Yeah, but here's something my wife is very good about reminding me of. She said to me one time, let me ask you a question. Have you ever gone onto a content creator's page and left a negative comment? I was like, I don't think so. And I'm a hater. I love hating on things. And she was like, exactly, because there's some level of mental illness going on with people who, especially the ones who just do that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like part of your identity, even if it's not on my page, you're on somebody's Reddit account and all you do is just hate all they do. It's like there's something going on there.
Well, it's like the Taylor Swift thing. Like we were just talking, her album's out. Like that's why little bags under my ass. I was up a little late last night, mama. But every time we post a story about her, it's like, oh, she sucks. Why do we even care? I'm like, and yet you're taking the 30 seconds to write a comment.
Yeah.
So obviously it's, it's just a very touchy subject with some
people.
people.
Another thing. I listened to a podcast where he was like, we take other people's opinions so seriously, but we don't realize how loose we are with our opinions of others. Mm-hmm. I throw out opinions all the time that are 30 seconds of microwave hot take on like, that person sucks. I don't know them. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, this isn't a personal attack.
So we all also kind of do it. I think going on and making it an identity of yours is a little crazy, but like we all say this guy sucks or that person's great, and we don't know. We just kind of throw opinions out there without putting much stock into them. No, hopefully so.
So my kids, it's funny because I learned this when I had kids. They have no filter. Yeah. And that's exactly how we all think. Yeah. They'd be like, I come over like, Mom, you got a turkey neck, gobble, gobble. I'm like, you little, I love them so much. But I think that there's an inner child like in all of us that still does that quick
that's
second.
Great.
Like, because when they say stuff, I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. I'll allow it, but can we not say it so loud to the lady at the grocery store, like whatever else? Yeah. So, but it's really nice to have you in studio. And don't forget, Comedy Works South in Landmark. Get to go and watch all the comedy. Try not to get offended.
Yes.
And if you do,
or get offended, that's fine. Okay. Say something. We'll have fun. And I'm not saying there's a threat. Let's talk it out in
and I think
forum.
That's one of the things I love so much about the Comedy Works is it's intimate, and you can, like, when people start saying stuff, it's like you can have that interaction with the crowd.
Comedy Works is my favorite club in America, the downtown location. This one's great too. I only did one show. So, honestly, might have been even better than downtown. But I think then I was like, I think they built a great brand, of course. But I think Denver also just is a good comedy city. We
have a lot of like people that like comedy and understand how to take a joke.
Yeah. I don't. What is that? I don't get it.
I don't know. Well, and you come on 420 weekend too, so I don't know if that's gonna make it.
Well, you would think they'd have less energy.
Well, maybe they're just excited and happy.
Yeah, maybe. Y'all got that figured out. Denver, San Diego, great comedy city. Weirdly, just like these two cities I go to, I'm like, I always seem to have a great time here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Colorado's got a pretty cool culture, and we got the mountains, and everything's all sunshine, so maybe that helps too.
Yeah.
I think if it was raining all the time like it is today, we probably wouldn't be as nice. We'd be like Seattle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Seattle.
I'm not. Dweebs.
Today's Jenny's real funny friends, Akaash.